We're back, and on this segment, you're going to hear something about esport. If you don't know what it is, you're about to find out. Our two guests today are Colt Berry. He's the student manager of esports team here at Rogers State, and Kyle Young, who's the captain of the Power League esport team. Guys, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Good to have you with us. Kyle, are you alive?
Yes, I'm alive. Sorry.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure you're with us on this.
Yeah.
Colt, before we get into this, could you explain, for the benefit of folks at home who might not know what we're talking about, give us a clear explanation of esport.
Yeah, so esports is an organized competitive level of video games, as well as it's kind of an umbrella term for pretty much, so the gist of it is that you're playing competitive video games in an organized fashion, but as well as you're being viewed and watched by millions, just like normal sports you have today. So,
what's the? I know if you're playing with, did I mispronounce that?
Rocket League.
Rocket League, yeah.
Yeah, it is a Rocket League. I don't know if I said it wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Anyway, to get back to this, there has to be an end to something. You play this game and that game. Do you work up just like you do in baseball or football or basketball?
Yeah. So is this for me or Kyle? Oh, me. Okay. Yeah. So there's a vast majority of esports out there. That there's a couple that are really popular. Like here at Rogers State, we offer League of Legends, Overwatch, Rocket League, and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So there's different things. Every game has different modes, and all the games are different. But yeah, you work at those games and we practice just like other athletes here at RSU. Our athletes are, they practice 3 times to 4 times a week, as well as 5 to 10 hours times a day, and then we compete on weekends. So you're working and practicing the same as normal athletes would, and we do the exact same conditioning almost that other athletes would be by playing in game, or as well as communication, talking, and things like that, making sure that everything's being worked out during these practice sessions that could happen in game or out of game.
Yeah, I average about 4 hours a day, and I played soccer also, and I compare it just as equal as competition-wise, and I'd say they say to perfect an art, it's 10,000 hours, and it's the same with anything like soccer and esports.
Well, that's what I was about to ask you next. What is the end result? Do you get a trophy? Do you play for money, or what happens here?
Yeah, so different leagues different leagues are always different. So we play in a couple seasons every year that do offer money. So $5,000, $10,000, and it goes up into pro C and everything. But the leagues we play for at school are for money. And then we also play for different leagues like OACE, which is an Oklahoma only group here in Oklahoma that we started for colleges, and we just play for trophies as well as HyperX gear. We have sponsors. So the overall pricing is that money as well as scholarship money that we give to athletes that we can win.
In the Rocket League, Kyle, does it ever hit you that there's not 5 or 10 people out there watching, but it conceivably could be millions of people watching you?
I wouldn't say from RSU perspective watching me, but there's quite a bit of people watching when I play. I don't think it makes me nervous or anything. I'm used to soccer, and we play in a lot of people, hundreds of people, so I'm used to that. So.
But when you figure in all of the people who are watching with an interest to the outcome of this game, those numbers add up pretty quickly, and all of a sudden, you've got a high number of folks watching your actions.
Yeah.
And that'd make you nervous.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'd say I've been in situations like that, and it's hard not to be nervous and to think about every action you take, and it's hard not to mess up too. But.
I can well imagine.
Yeah.
Is the phrase "a gamer"? Does that apply to you?
Oh yeah, I'm a gamer. Being colder, definitely gamers.
That would definitely apply.
Oh yeah.
Because there are. Let me give you an example. I know a fella who works in downtown Tulsa, and he has in one of his offices. He owns the business. At the end of the day, he goes into a room where his computer is, his personal computer. He's got a special chair, and he hooks up with others who will play the same game, and they have like airplanes that do battle, old P-51s or old Sabre jets. And when you turn or bank, the chair moves with you. If you add thrust, the chair vibrates.
It's a
I
simulator.
mean, that's getting down to pretty real and expensive stuff. Does that happen with you guys?
No, so those are what you're talking about. Those are VR simulators. So simulators are those video games that are designed to help people in that field to
Kind of immerse you. Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to help people get learning and getting experience in those things. Like NASCAR drivers do a similar thing called VR racing, and we don't. That's not kind of what we have. We don't. There's not a lot of VR games that are esports. They're more just like mouse and keyboard and controller. Those situations are going to be more VR and more realistic to help people in training scenarios and things like that. But that just shows how gaming can, those video games and everything can help people today in real life world experiences. Those things help a lot with people's training, as well as making sure that they're getting the right experience going into those situations that they might have in real life.
How long did it take your parents, and I'd like a response from either one of you, or both, how long did it take your parents to jump on board the bandwagon and start to support you rather than just roll their eyes when you said, I'm gaming?
I'd say they still roll their eyes, but for sure the money from the scholarship definitely helps them side with me over the esports. But it's fun, and they like me being happy, so of course they love me smiling. So.
Yeah, mine would be a little bit longer. So I've been here since the start of esports, and we didn't have scholarships when we started. So my mother has always been very skeptical of it. I've been in esports for about 7 years now. Just been competing by myself, personally, as well as volunteering and helping in different organizations and tournaments. So it definitely was a big eye turner, or made her realize that this was a real thing when I was able to help get scholarships here at RSU, and able to be playing on the team and get those scholarships for the years I have been playing. So now it's currently, she still doesn't really, she supports me really well, but it helped a lot when we were able to get money for it, and she's like, oh, you're actually getting paid for stuff you've been doing for years. So she actually enjoyed to see that.
Didn't realize you could make some serious money out of it, did she?
Yeah, had no clue.
Does it work with esports the same way it works in the major leagues? Can you become a free agent? Do you have to stay with one team? Can you play on your own? How does that work out?
You want to answer this?
Go ahead. Yeah, I can answer it. Just like for Rocket League, there's professional Rocket League players, and you sign a contract just like the major leagues, and you sign it for a certain amount of years, and you get a salary. It's the same. Yeah. Sponsors, each team has sponsors, and they're sponsored by them. They get gear and about anything you can think of.
Yep, works the same way as athletes coming from colleges. So you can be free agent. You don't have to be in college. So a lot of players in pro scenes do get picked up in high school. A lot of young players these days, and so you're the same. You're just playing. There's open leagues you can play for that are free tournaments online. So any of those you can be getting more and more exposure, just like traditional athletes on like high school basketball games, pickup games, things like that. So when you're playing in these tournaments or in these teams, you have potential of being scouted out and things like that. So and then college level esports definitely helps college players be noticed faster as well to get picked up by these pros.
What about newbies? There have to be rookies that want to get involved.
Yeah.
Do you encourage that?
Yeah, 100. Yeah, we encourage it a lot. So that is one of the biggest. That's how kind of esports goes right now. Is that people just play in these tournaments. So rookies are really easy to be spotted by different things. On Twitch, you can stream online. So a lot of ways that pros get picked up is they're streaming their gameplay. They're just casually playing with their friends or some buddies every day, and they're streaming their gameplay constantly. And then those Twitch streams can be reached out by different people like scouting agents and stuff like that from different professional scenes. So that's one of the biggest ways rookies get into the scene is by streaming their gameplay, as well as going to local events and playing online events. You can make a lot of good connections, and you can really show off your skill and make connections with other players, and then they can vouch for you in this pro scene. So it's the same. It just works up like that.
Oklahoma politicians have not always been on top of things. And I know we had a governor once that years ago, many years back, when he was looking at the budget for state school football teams to travel from one school to another, threw up his hands in exasperation and said, what we need to do is have all these teams play at home. Now, think about that. How many times are you going to have one team on the field with nobody to play. Well, Kyle, I want to thank both of you for coming in and visiting with us. Like to come over and watch you sometime. Is that possible?
Yeah, we stream our games in our lab whenever we play. Kyle actually has a game tomorrow. They're on track for the playoffs right now, so there's some pretty big games coming up. So we stream those games on our Twitch stream.
We're out of time.
And then,
Sorry to do this to you, Kyle. We got to go.
You're fine.
I'm sorry, Colt. I apologize. Kyle, see you later too, buddy.
See ya.
Thanks for being with us. And folks, wear a mask. I'll see you next week.